Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. If you're watching this on a Thursday, otherwise just happy day. Hello. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Thursday, huh? Wow. This week has felt really long. It feels like it's been a long time since we sat here last. All right. Well, today we are going to do Kendra's card sketches 4 through 6 together. 4, 5, and 6. And I was like, oh, wait, did I accidentally make this card sketch? But it is different than the one we made the other day. Uh, this one just has the circles more present and has some matting. And then the main back mat seems to be a different size. So it is slightly different. Just in case I start working with circles and you're like, we already did that. They're similar. And I have some paper in front of me. This came in a box from Cheryl. So I wanted to use it. I dug into the box this morning and yes, it's all still in a box. And I was like, let me pull some of this out and use some of this. This is a really pretty paper pad. I think it's very wintry, the colors. It's very like cool and wintry, and I like it, even though it has blooms. Blooms all year as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's me find you guys and say hello. Hopefully we won't have any funny business with this stream. For one thing, I'm still using my old phone at this point because the new one doesn't want to do lives for whatever reason. And then I started my live and it was like, sorry, can't connect. So I had to restart. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and hope that we don't have any funny business today. Hopefully we got all the funny business out of the way. Hi, Jason Downs. Hi, Vicky. Hey, Flo and Beth. How's it going? You have super flu? No. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry, Beth. You lurk away, girlfriend. And oh, geez, that's just horrible. I'm so sorry. I told myself yesterday, self, you should probably just go ahead and go get a flu shot. Beth, did you have a flu shot? I know that the strand going around is maybe the one that they didn't make the shot for, because it's always like they have bingo cards and I guess it wasn't on their bingo card. Stay hydrated, Beth. Do your best to stay hydrated. Okay, so inside of the beautiful box from Cheryl, there were 4 sheets of this silvery gray basil cardstock and sheets of this bow bunny polka dots. And I just thought that they went really well with the paper pad. So we're going to incorporate these as well. All right, so let's get to moving and grooving. So Kendra's Card Challenge is a quarterly challenge. It's absolutely free to get your sheet, to get your printable and your instructions, and it's completely free to participate. There's no charge for any of it. She does have memberships, but it's just not required. And you can win prizes when you submit your cards, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So let's get a few patterns here. I think I'll just use those 2. Oh, look, more polka dots. Ooh, so pretty. This paper pad is gorgeous. I love die cuts with a view, or DCWV paper pads. They're amazing. I don't know where to buy them now that Joann's is out. I used to always get mine from Joann's. And then let's use some of this. And let me look at that KCC card again. I'm going to pull it up on my other phone. I'm telling you, I have 3 phones. My kids think I'm so ridiculous, and I am. All right, let's see. You guys, the paper pads are at the printer. Proved the proofs. We are doing this thing. Let's see. Why? There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. So this card has, hello, I'd like for you to enlarge now. Is that as far as it'll go? There we go. So this card has a bunch of strips that make up the card. So this is going to be a little trickier because I make 5x7s and these are A2 directions. This is the August 2025 sheet load. This one or a different one? It must be this one. This looks like a Crafty Owl sheet load. The August 2025 sheet load. And if y'all, this month's sheet load is based on one of Kendra's card sketches from KCC18. So they collaborated, and I just love that. This is double-sided, so I think we'll be able to use both sides. And then we'll use these 2 sheets of paper, and they're double-sided. We've got so many patterns, it's gonna be fun. All right, but what I have to figure out is my dimensions. Oh, the dimensions. Hi, Paula K. No shot. Sophie gave it to the whole house. Oh, she can't help it. She's in public school. Bless y'all's heart. Oh, that's awful. Just awful. We're gonna do, let's think about this. All right, I'm going to kind of work through this with you guys. I'm going to put this in view so we can talk about this. I think I'm going to do my strips 1.5 inches wide. Well, 1.5 and 1/2 inch. Sorry, 1.5 and 1 inch. That's what I'm going to do. I'll get it together. You just wait. All right. So I'm going to do this paper with the butterflies. I'm going to cut these at 1 inch. So this is going to be a 1 by 6 inch strip of paper. And I'm going to cut 4 of these. Let's just see how this goes. Will it work? I don't know. I think it will. And then this paper, I'm going to cut to 1.5 inch strips. Gosh, it's directional. This is directional too, kind of, with the butterflies. I mean, I can turn them sideways, but because butterflies fly in all directions, just see. I think they'll be okay. And then there's always the other side. So we may just use this other side. Okay. We're good. Okay, let's do 1.5. So what are y'all's weekend plans? I am going, Sparkleheart and I are treating the grandmothers to English tea this weekend. There's a tea service in our area, you know, where you get the sandwiches, scones, biscuits, which are cookies, and all the things. And we're taking the grandmothers and we're gonna go to an English tea service on Saturday. So that's gonna be fun. We've been wanting to do it like my mom and I for like our birthdays, because our birthday, mine's the 14th, hers is 15th. So we always celebrate together. Anyways, but it's just never worked out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this basically out under. Let's try 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Let's see if it works. Anyways, I meant to, the other day I tried to find someone on Instagram that I wanted to come on my channel this weekend with me, but I never found her. I thought she was on there, and then I got distracted, and then I didn't ask anybody, so we'll see about that. I don't know. We shall see. It'll be a surprise for you and me. All right. Now, with these, I need to see. No, these are going to be way too wide. Okay. That's okay. We will do, if we cut these down to 1 inch, will it work? Or do they need to be, let's do 3/4 of an inch on these. Even though this is the paper I wanted to be the rock star of the card. Excuse me. I have been sneezing a lot this morning. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I even like blew my nose before I came on and everything to try to avoid being sneezy on you guys, but I guess my body gets the last laugh on that one. Okay, so let's try this 3/4 of an inch with an inch. You know, some sketches are a little more tricky to translate than others. All I'm trying to do, the pieces that go across are not such a big deal. This will work. The pieces that go in, let me elaborate. These pieces here are not so tricky as those pieces, because these we can just kind of cut down and make them work. But we need to make sure the width of the card is going to work. At least that's what my brain says. Okay, so we know now that this will work. So what I did is I cut 4 strips of each pattern of 2 patterns. One pattern, they're at 3/4 of an inch, you know, by 6 inches, and the other one is 1 inch by 6 inches. And I think this will do. It's not just like the sketch, it's slightly different because these are the same size. But you know, it's a-okay. All right, so what we're gonna do now is cut these, let's see, it's not halfway. I'm doing math in my head, don't mind me. Now the next slice needs to be kind of thought out too. All right, so it has to be at least, math on a Thursday morning, 1 3/4. So it needs to probably be at least like 2 1/4. Okay. Which would leave these pieces at, let's say 2 for now, okay? I know there's got to be an easier way. but this is what I'm doing. Okay. Something's not right about this paper. Hold on. Yeah, this paper's not 6 inches. It's 6.5. Because I didn't cut off the top part. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm working with 6.5 inch paper to start. Almost 6.5, but not quite. So that's really throwing me for a loop here. Bear with me. Okay, so I've got this at 6.25. I just had to do this in Toby math, so don't mind me. I'm going to cut it down to 3 3/4. Okay, I have my answer. Toby math is much different than logical math. Y'all think I'm creative with cards. I'm creative with everything, even math. And this is the part of the ruler that doesn't show for me, so this makes it even more interesting. I'm just going, I don't actually know what this measurement is. I'm just going to the edge of the plastic of my board. And now with these, I'm just going to cut these because I feel like I could get something different because I'm not measuring to a line. Oh boy, this is fun, huh? And you thought your card making was different. All right. Here we are. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. All right, let's see how this works. It's a mystery. Will it work? Let's see. All right. Well, it will all fit, so that's good. And then these go over here. Oh, that's a wee bit short, isn't it? We have to, let's see, these go over here. We're just being inspired by the sketch, okay? We're not going to follow it to a T. I think this will work. By the time I put a focal point in, I do feel like there could be one more strip right here. And that would be, let's make that like 1/4 of an inch. Let's just go for it. So I'm going to take one of these. Will this work? Or we can just use this. This is the 3/4 of an inch, by the way. We've got a wild card. That's cool. I'm down with this. I should have been writing down my measurements. I'll do that now. So when I make adjustments to a Kinder's Card Challenge sketch and I think, I want to go back and make that card again, I do go ahead, because usually I print the instructions. I don't have a printer currently, but usually I print the instructions and then I make my 5x7 adjustments and write them on the instructions. Okay, but this is what we just made, and that's going to work for me. It's not exact. It's fine though. But right now, I'm just going to grab this piece of paper right here. And I know this page has, I don't like writing in those tight lines. I've always not liked college ruled paper. I don't like it. So it's too confining for me. So I'm just going to write KCC21. This is sketch 4. And I did 4 strips that are 3 3/4 by 1 inch, and then I did 4 strips that are 3 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, and then I did 2 strips that are I have to do this, you guys, if I ever want to come back and make this cardigan. 2 3/4. Oh, sounds like Sparkle Heart is sneezy too. Something's in the air. And then 2 3/4 by, oh, that's actually 6. And then this one's 1 inch. Okay. There we go. Now I know. Now, one thing you can do if you're like this, if you're like me and you're doing something like this, is you could take this as your prototype, put it with your cutting directions, throw it in your journal. I'm in a live, so we're not going to do that. But the other thing is you can just sketch it out for yourself to make it all make sense, you know. So this would be 1 inch. It doesn't need to be pretty 3/4. This is just a map for me later. Okay. This was the 1 inch, and this is the 3/4. 1 3/4. 1 3/4 3/4. Okay. I'm just trying to give you a hack if you know, like card sketches, but you're like me and you don't really make A2 cards. Most card sketches are for A2 card makers. I know there was a creator who was making a lot of 5x7s. I can't remember her name or what her channel is, which is not incredibly helpful for anybody right now. But most of them are for A2. So I've learned to do this over the years. All right, while I'm gluing, I'm going to be reading. She does. Yeah. Hydrate and rest. That's what I said, Paula. Yes, hydrate and rest. Paula, I'm glad you're feeling better. Sorry you had that nasty stuff too. It is going around. Speaking of going around, my father-in-law is on a great adventure going around the world. He's trying to make it to Antarctica, y'all. This time he's alone. My mother-in-law was like, you know what? I need a break from all this traveling. I want to be at home for a little bit. So he just embarked on a 2-month tour where he's going, hopefully, to Antarctica, Easter Island. He'll be going to New Zealand and Australia, although he's been so many times that he's like, oh, I wasn't that excited about it, that part of it. But he's going to be seeing, basically the part he was really excited about were a bunch of islands he hasn't been gone to before. Tahiti, and some other, I don't know. He like I said, he's gone for like 2.5 months. So he is off again. Going around the world. That's just what he wants to do with his life. I think he'd travel 365 if he could. He doesn't really have a desire to be at home. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm telling you, I'm very sneezy today. Okay. Just call me sneezy. Girl, it's horrible. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Beth. I haven't, oh, the flu is horrible. It is horrible. This little part, I'm not going to worry about that. That's that hole in the branding strip. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do something that's going to cover that up. Because this is just the base of our card. We're just getting started. I like this design a lot, though. See, this is what I like about card sketches and why I'm on sketch teams and why I play with them so much is because, well, it's kind of like this dream I had last night. Oh boy, did I have an interesting dream. These are too long. No, this isn't. Yeah, this is glued down. I'm going to have to trim these a little bit. I was hanging out with a bunch of artists. I was hanging out with David Hockney, which is an English painter, but he was much younger. It was not present day David Hockney. And he was wild. And my mom was wild in the dream. Oh my gosh. She went off and got married to this really young man. It was, let's just say, it caused a bit of a frenzy. She caused a bit of a frenzy. It was a wild dream, but also one thing that was really cool about my dream was that me and David Hockney were hanging out and we were doing this really cool painting exercise together where like one of us would be painting and the other would be narrating like what to do, what to add, like formulating the painting, and the other one would paint based on the prompts. And now I want to do this with somebody because it was cool in my dream. I used to do this thing because I've painted, I painted all through college, on canvas paintings. And had this friend, we were always platonic, and he was a painter. Anyways, so he would paint half a canvas, or he would paint half of a painting, even if it wasn't half the canvas, but he would be like, this painting is halfway done. Can you finish it? And then in exchange, I would start a painting that would be halfway done and he would finish it. And then, because we'd do them simultaneously, so we would do the exchange. I would give him a canvas, he would give me a canvas, and then we get together and then we just pick which canvas we want to keep. And that was so fun. He was an art major. I was not. And yeah. So it kind of takes me back to that time of my life. But yeah, oh man, that was such a cool dream. Beth, I'm going to say a prayer for you. No plans, no crafternoon with your daughter, Vicky. Maybe y'all can go to tea. I know y'all usually do it on Zoom, so she's not around maybe to go to tea, but I'm excited. I told my mother-in-law yesterday morning, I was chatting with her as I took my son to school or dropped him off, and I was like, we've been waiting for a special occasion to go do tea. I decided we would go do tea and make it a special occasion, and she just laughed. She said, sounds good to me. So, hey, remember this pile of papers? I bet there's something in here we can pop on this card. Like one of these. And y'all might be like, oh geez, here we go again. But yeah, here we go again. I think this girl right here will be perfect. Okay. Tell me if I'm too untrusting, but I called to make our reservation and they were like, okay, you have to pay for the full tea service in advance. Which is fine. I have no problem doing that. I understand that. And she's like, I'll just take your credit card number over the phone. I said, it's nothing against you. I'm just really not comfortable doing that anymore. Can you send me a PayPal invoice, or can you send me, some kind of invoice that I can just pay online for the service? And she's like, no, we don't have that capability, but you can come in and pay in person. I was like, I'll do that. I don't mean to be distrusting, but I'm very hesitant to give my information out over the phone anymore. I just am. If I don't have to. I think we might try another girl. What do y'all think? Hi, Nikki Jane. Angie, Jason said Bitty Penny is doing a sheet, but I'm guessing it's one that, yes, I am doing, that's correct. I am doing KCC21, that's Kendra's Card Challenge number 21. But this particular one, this one sketch out of all 15 is a collaboration between Call Me Crafty Owl and Kendra. And this was August 2025 sheetload of cards. So you're probably like, I know I did August 2025 sheetload of cards. So why wouldn't I already have my measurements figured out? Well, ooh, I like this one better because then I can see more of the intersections of the paper. This is good. This is not bad. But to me, this is better. Okie doke. Glad we figured that out. Seth is having a birthday party, pizza, and watching the cinematic masterpiece UHF starring Weird Al. Who's Seth? Is that your son? That sounds like fun. I like it. That's the kind of party we would have. Bloom and grow. Okay, I've placed my first crafty order of 2026 the other day, you guys. I placed it at PM Artist Studios. And I got some stencils that I've had in my cart for quite some time. And I got Karen's new stamps. she's always been extremely supportive of me. And so, one, I want to make sure I support her too on this journey, as well as Yolan, which is Devon Rex for Art, as well as PM Artist Studio. And I'm really excited about playing with the stuff. So this little thing right here says Bloom and Grow. So I was delighted to make that purchase. I'm going to cut those ends off because I get where they're going with that, but no. That's all I can say. Is no, I don't want to play. No, thank you. All right. I think we're just going to put that right there. It's so serendipitous. Every trimmer has a dead zone. Yeah, Angie, except for the ones that fold out, like the We Are Memory Keepers one that I have. No dead zone on that one. Which is one of the things I loved about it. Okay. And that's just about dead center. Now, I kind of want to put something else with it. This is not quite the right color. I don't want to have y'all watch me fussy cut this whole thing out and then not even use it. So let's just plop it back there for now. Yeah, I think it can work. Okay. Biddy! Nikki! Nikki has the cutest dog. Oh my gosh. She got a Jack Russell Terrier for Christmas. A puppy. And it's so cute. He was so tiny, he looked like a chihuahua. A chihuahua. We want some Yorkies, Yorkshire Terriers. Yorkshire. Yep. We want at least 2 of them. One for me, one's for Sparkleheart, and Enzy just wants Blossom. That little rascal. That little big rascal. We love her to pieces. I actually really miss Blossom. She hasn't been over because when Fazzy got injured, the vet said no play dates for 3 weeks. And we were planning a play date with the girls. And so I haven't seen Blossom since in too long. I'll see her this weekend though, when I go pick my mom up to take her to tea. I will be going in and seeing Blossom and Fendi. Absolutely. Can't wait to get back to crafting, Nikki. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Ooh, I like this. I like it laying over the image. We're just going to have to do a little snipping here, I think, of the stem right there. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that way I can move it a little higher. I might also just trim off a little bit more of the stem down here so we can get this position just right. I think the bloom is really nice with our sentiment, which says bloom and grow. Wow, is this card going to take me the whole time? No, I'm about to be done. I'm about to be done. We're in the final stages here, and I love it. I'm kind of really wondering what my August sheet load looked like now. I can't remember, you know, that was too long ago. I don't remember what I made or what I did. But I've never missed a sheet load, I don't think, since I've been on the team. Even when I had COVID, I still did it. I made my sheet load from the bed that month. I don't think I've ever missed. I've gotten really close before. Okay, I want to line this up, so I'm turning it because I remember that it was just between these two pieces here. And I'm going to move it just a little bit more over here so I can get more of that bloom on there. There we go. Trim that off. Let's put it on a card base. I really like it. I know that bloom kind of just blends into the background, but I like that about it. I don't want it to overpower or overshadow our main character. And she's on that glitter paper, y'all. So she is shining. She's letting her sparkle out. You watched LV Handcrafted about the glue press and the glue squeeze. It was really long and detailed and doesn't have a final decision on the glue squeeze. Oh, I saw the thumbnail for that and was like, oh my goodness. Well, I'm not mad at this. You know, it's doing what I need it to do. It's squeezing the glue. I wish I could put it like in the caddy, but I don't like the mess that it makes. And it's so funny because my whole craft room is destroyed and an utter mess. And most people would be appalled by it. So then they would beg the question of like, why do you even care? Like, look at your craft room, lady. But there's a difference between like a gluey mess and a paper mess for me. And apparently I don't like gluey messes, but I don't mind paper messes. Okay, so here is this card, and I think she's lovely. Let's do the inside. We're going to keep it simple, okay? And I am actually gluing this down. It's not going to be a pocket. The other day, we made lots of pockets on the insides of our cards. And I do think I like having a pocket on the inside of my card. I can put ephemera in there. I can put a gift card in there. I can do more things with a pocket than without a pocket. But today, no pocket. Looking to see if I had a scrap of paper. I want one that's pink, I think, a soft pink. A soft blue would work, but we already know how that went the other day. It was not great. It was quite challenging to find a blue that I felt like went with the other blues, and we're not gonna do that. We don't have time for that today. 4 3/4. She did say she wouldn't recommend using line coat glue in the glue press. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna, I like my line coat. I've been using it for so many years. But yeah, I agree. I don't like the way that it does not stay in the tip I think it stays just fine in the more narrow tip. So if you're using the more narrow tip that's not on the gray base, you'd be fine with line coat. But if you're using this gray base whiter tip, it does get very gluey very fast in your little caddy thing. I'm just not, I make too many cards to buy expensive glue. And the line coat is like something that's, the line coat has been around for a long time. And it's just like an industry, like trusted in the bookmaking industry and everything like that. It's a good glue. And it's more affordable than all the craft glues. So I'm sticking to it. And I've never had the problems that I had with like art glitter. I never had any problems with Barely Arts, but I didn't use it very long. I used one bottle, I think. Maybe two. Okay, so Bloom and Grow. There we go. Finally, that is sketch number 5 from KCC21. Let's look at sketch number 6. I think it'll go a lot faster. It better if we're going to get through these. Okay, yeah, we can just make that one up real easy, real quick. So this is sketch number 6. What if we made this our card base? Because we could if we wanted to. To be honest, this is about how thick my card bases are right now. And I'm layering, so it should be fine. Let's turn this sheet into our card base. So we'll start there. Oh, really, Angie? That's cool. I've never heard of that. That's cool. 7. By 10. Ooh, I have another idea. Okay, so it's 7 by 12. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I'm usually more spatially aware than that. All right, and let's score this instead at 2 inches. Okay, well, that was a naughty little score line. All right. Took my granddaughter to tea when she was here for her birthday last November. Oh, nice, Vicki. Did y'all have a good time? Did you have to go into Oklahoma City, or do you have a place more near to you that does it? Okay, so that 2 inches I took and folded in. So this is 7 by 12, scored at 2, folded in. Now I can take this, fold this to where it's even with this other side, and this will be our card base, my dears. Looky there. And then we'll simply take this and glue the top edge, glue the bottom edge. Wham bam, we have a pocket on the inside of our cards. Okay. Next. All right, let's get some more paper out from that really great paper pad. Thank you so much, Cheryl. These are beautiful. Let's find a paper. A couple of, ooh, let's use this. I like this green. Morning, Camille Ernst. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Ooh, and let's use this one. And then, ooh, let's just use this one. This is not a day for, well, we got to make up for the amount of time card number 1 took us. We've got to make up for that. So we're just making quick decisions here. Okie doke. I'm looking back at the sketch again. Again, sketch number 5. Okay. All right. These are going to be my back layers, I think. Well, let's see. Those could be the back layers, and then this stacked on top. But I was originally thinking this would be my back layers, and this would be stacked on top. I think that's better. Okay, so let's go with it. Linda Gorman, hello. Over 500 schools here close this morning in Northeast Ohio. It's been snowing since 2 p.m. yesterday. Oh my gosh. It's a winter wonderland. How nice. Seth is our 22-year-old son. Aw. I had a feeling. That's cool. Tell him happy birthday. That's awesome. I wasn't really paying attention to my measurements. I was just kind of cutting paper. Let's see how it works. Just fine. It's working just fine for me. I don't mind that it's overlapping a little bit. It's only like 1/8 of an inch. It'll be fine. Okay, cool. Let's do this. This card's, we're going to make up. We've got this. You're late, no worries. My iPad update. Oh, yeah. It happens, no worries. We're making Kendra's card challenges. We're making sketches 4, 5, and 6. Hopefully we'll get to 6. We'll see. Sketch number 4 took us quite some time. Took me. Y'all were fine.